Welcome to this week's episode of Transformational Tuesday. Look, we want to bring you the stories, the steps, the journeys of people to inspire you so you can get the same results as some of these people. This week, joining us is, who are you?
Sam Algie.
Sam Algie. Yeah, so just tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe even just tell us, how life was a little bit growing up as well.
So I grew up in a family home. I've got a younger brother, parents.
You've got parents?
I've got two. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mum and dad. So started out working 16 straight from school. Never did very well at school, but I always said I wanted to get into property. So I saved no inheritance, and my first goal, without ever realising it was a goal at the time, was for my 21st birthday to buy a house. And started on £3 an hour, and a month before I turned 21, I basically put down the deposit to my first house. But then that's when I kind of realised that I'm quite savvy, because I stayed at home and lived for cheap rent with my parents. Rented someone out.
Oh, so you bought your first house, but then you rented it out?
Yeah, I never moved at home, I just stayed at home.
Okay.
So yeah, I made money. I had it on a repayment mortgage at the time. Not really. I was realising what I was doing with mortgages or anything like that. Kind of like I won't say accidental landlord, I wanted to get into it, but as soon as time evolved and went on, I then realised that I can definitely do a lot.
So who told you about property to get into it at that age? Like, how did you? Why?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I've always had a passion for property. I had it out when I started work at 16 that I wanted to own 2 houses and have the third house as the one I lived in. And then when I get to 65, sell those 2 houses and then live like a king.
That was your goal when you was when?
16.
16. Okay, well, that's
Wow.
good. So then what happened from there? Was that a continuation of your property journey, or was that just a one-time buy and?
One time, so no, I bought that house at 21, and then just under 2 years later, I bought a house with my now wife. And we lived in that for 5-6 years, but.
So that was a residential to live in?
Yeah, that was a residential to live in. And then during that time, my parents split up, which was a big time for me because I was very much a family man and it basically rocked me. So since then, I kind of wanted to do something different on, rather focusing on the end goal, like focusing on having 2 houses and then selling them. I was like, I wanted to learn more about property and get into it. So that's where I started out.
Yeah. So then, but what was that all about? What made you decide to want to invest in property? Or is that what it was? Invest in property, or just know more about property?
Or just own 2 properties?
Initially, it was just owning 2 properties. I don't know when I decided to invest in myself.
So you owned 2 properties by then, one that you lived in and one that you rented, right?
Yeah, but at the time I didn't realise what I was doing. I still had one house I lived in and one rented out.
And were you working full time?
Yeah, I was working full time. I thought I was a boss because I'm like 23, got 2 houses. Yeah, I'm doing well in life. But I just didn't know what I was actually doing on how to continue expanding out.
Okay, so what happened from there?
We then started looking into do some more property training, and the numbers on property training scared the living bejeebers out of me. When
What do you mean by the numbers?
On
How to work deals out?
how to work deals out and how to make money and how to use other people's money and how to basically expand and not use my own money each time. So everything that I'd done up at that point, the 2 houses, was all my own money through savings and inheritance for the house that we lived in with the wife. And yeah, so to step it up and do something different was learning something new. And that's where I started out property training.
So then you did some property training, and then what happened?
It went wrong. And so I did a property training, and then I thought, right, I'm going to do a flip. So that's where you buy a rundown house, renovate it, sell it. And then I was like, right, I can be creative with this. I used a thing called a bridging loan, which is really good if you know what you're doing, and I didn't. So basically what happened was we overran on the bridge, we paid a lot of money in, like fines and everything, and learnt a hell of a lot through the process. And we did just make money in the end. So it was a success.
You didn't lose money?
We didn't lose money.
So that's good.
It was good. I'd hate to think, because I did all the work myself, Me and my friend at the time.
So you did all the work yourself?
Yeah.
Even though you still had a job?
Yeah, so I was
full-time job?
full-time job, so effectively I was doing like 2 full-time jobs, doing tiling and all bits and bobs like that.
Okay.
So got mugged off by a lot of tradesmen saying that they were going to do the jobs. Because of where I work, I didn't have access to my phone, so they then didn't turn up on site, or they turned up on site, made a phone call to me, I couldn't answer it because I was at work, they then disappeared. Like, stupid amount of weeks were wasted. So it was a massive learning curve to then realise that to expand out, to get systems in place, to hire other people and use other people's skill sets to continue to grow.
So with that, but this deal I find really interesting because this is kind of, I always remember from the beginning, this was the game changer because even for Steph, who is the wife, this really changed her outlook on wanting to do property.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like this whole experience, what did that do for your confidence or your property journey?
So for me, I really enjoyed property still. I was like, so we've made money. And stuff was like, Sam, we've literally lived at this other house constantly to make not much money. I was like, but we've made money. And she went, Sam, no, it's horrendous. There's no way do I want to do that again because it was a nightmare. We've literally lived at another house and we made a few grand at the end of it. I was like, but it's a profit nonetheless. So for me, my passion then was like, property works, I can make money in property. Steph was the exact opposite. She was like, no, I'm out, it was a nightmare, there was too much hard work involved, and I'm done.
So then what happened?
Then that's when we met you guys. So we found you guys on Facebook and online, and we came to the first event back in November 2018, was it? Yeah, and we came to that event.
I think so.
Yeah, it was. And Steph was sceptical, and I was like, "Come on, Steph, I need you back on board. I can't. It's really hard to go solo." Especially
I remember you came so you were at the event and you came over and you said, please help me, I've been trying to get her to be re-engaged and do property for ages, and I was like, she won't listen to you because, listen, who else doesn't listen to their partner, right? They just don't want to know. So you have to get it from a different person's perspective, especially a woman. So I remember you coming to me at the event and she was very much like, no, done.
She was out, and then I don't know how you guys.
So what happened next?
So we then actually joined the Real Life Tribe, and that's when results started snowballing.
So what results have you got since then?
Since then, it's been an excellent few months. So in 13 months, I built up a portfolio just over 4 million, which will be net cash flow just over £10,000 a month in the space of 14 months.
Awesome, good job. so look, this is about transformation. That's why it's called Transformational Tuesday. Yeah. So what is the transformation you went through? Because you already had the knowledge. You'd already done a couple of properties. You already been on all the training and got knowledge.
Okay.
So what was the difference that allowed the?
I think for me, massive one was the mindset, and then I've never ever been coached before. So having somebody coach me and keep me accountable was what kind of catapulted me to continuing on my personal development and taking property to the next level. So that was huge for me, and I owe him a lot. You guys. I owe my coach a lot for keeping me accountable, and you guys for setting up Real Life.
Okay, good. So if there's advice that, because if people are anything like I was, I'm like, what's coaching, what's accountable, what's someone telling me, I don't need motivating or all of that. What advice would you give these people?
So for me personally, I knew about property, but still wasn't making actions, making moves. So as soon as I did sign up to Real Life, as soon as I got given a coach and an accountability partner, that's when stuff started to happen. That's when technically all it's doing is kicking me up the derriere, and stuff started to become fluid, and it started happening. And then when one deal came through, I found the next investor, and it all started going in an awesome way.
Oh yeah, because you used other people's money for these deals as well, right?
Yeah, so in the space of, I think it's just over 2 years, including the first project, it's raising over £600,000 now.
Wow.
Good job. So you had a full-time job.
Yes.
You had a full-time job, plus you built a portfolio of over 4 million now.
Yep.
Raised over 600k, you say?
Yep.
Yeah. So what tips do you have for people that what is the secret to being able to handle all that? What about people who are thinking, that's too much, I've got kids, I've got, work, I've got a partner, I want to enjoy myself as well.
I'm not going to lie, it's not easy, but at the end of the day, if you want to live your dream life, then you're going to have to take action, and you're going to have to work for it. For me, when I finally realised that if I spend the time now working for it, then life will be a hell of a lot easier as soon as these are finished. So within the space of 18 months from starting with real life, 18 months from now, or 18 months from joining, I basically got enough financial freedom to give up my full-time job, or part-time job. So within the space of joining real life, in 4 months I went down to part-time. 18 months later, I'm now completely financially free, got a big family home, and yeah, it's what's going on.
But you still work there?
I'm still part-time at the minute.
You're still part-time. So there's still more transformation that's required.
Yeah.
So if
there's always transformation required.
Yeah, definitely there is.
Have you decided what the next step is? Have you got a quit date?
It moves. I'm saying March is realistic. So that's for me.
So what about this whole? You say it wasn't easy. So tell us about what are some of the things that people can expect, and what the transformation of who you've become today that's allowed you to handle it. Give us some background.
So pitfalls. Property is not easy at all. So at first you find a property, you run the numbers, you're like, yes, it works, it's amazing, I'm going to go for it. So you place an offer. But then that's when it gets really interesting, because I did it without using my own money, so then you have to post for investors. So then you're raising investors' money. But because I was still starting out with property, you've got no credibility. So then that's when it gets really interesting, because you're putting all these feelers out there. People are messaging you questions and saying, I'm interested, it sounds really good. Then they're like, well, I want to see you do your first one. I'm like, believe me, I need the first one. Eventually, the first one finally came over. Then the project itself turned into a bit of a nightmare. There's issues with builders, there's planning, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with property, and that's where you kind of have to take a step back and adapt to the surroundings and how things can go wrong and will go wrong. Property is not going to be easy, it never will be smooth sailing on every project, but the more you learn, the more you can put into practice and know for the future.
So what challenges did you have? Because like you say, you were looking for investors and they just weren't coming. Like, how did you deal with that? You had a deal.
I had a deal. I had a couple of deals. So one was subject to planning. I had an investor shake my hand saying, I will fund this deal for you. So I'm like, yes, it's awesome. And the deal was due to come through on my 30th birthday, like due to complete. So I texted him 2 weeks before saying, are we all good for completion in a couple of weeks? And I'm sorry, Sam, it's not going to plan. I'm going to have to delay this project. I'm sure you've got plenty more investors on board. Good luck. I was like, wow! Now this is time to post. I need investors, and then you kind of have to do whatever it takes. So I then started playing the delaying tactics, ringing up the agent and said, oh, there's something not been done on this, and then you have to do, this is where your book of tricks comes out and you have to play the cards that you got. So I then switched from a bridge to purchasing the property with a deposit. So I managed to raise partial finance, and then I was struggling to raise the rest. So I was like, this bridge thing's not going to work for me, I needed a lot more money. Then that was subject to planning. The bridge was as well, so the planning got rejected at the change of use. I was like, oh my goodness, what can go wrong will go wrong. So I managed to raise a 25% deposit, so I thought, right, I'm going to complete on this. The best bit about this was because the planning got changed, I then managed to renegotiate some more money off the price. Win-win. So you try take all your wins. So I saved a bit of money on the actual asking price. Completed the project with the 25% deposit. And then because my other projects had already started now, somebody's like, oh, you're doing alright property now. So then I managed to raise the investment finance for it. After the deal, I'm like, seriously, you could have just messaged 2-3 weeks ago or actually asked me about it, because that would have saved me a hell of a lot of time and money. But I didn't want to lose the deal, so I completed on the deal. Now I'll raise the finance for it afterwards, and I'm just going a different approach to what normally would have done with development and stuff like that.
So you didn't run away from the deal?
No, I didn't run away.
Why?
Because you do whatever it takes. The the deal's key. The money stacks. The numbers were unreal. So there's no way I was giving it up. There's no way I was passing it on.
So, but most people would run away. They didn't get planning accepted. The investor pulled out.
Yeah, but
and people who hear about this stuff, they probably won't even want to attempt it now.
Yeah.
So that's first of all, I want to ask: is it worth it?
yeah, 100%.
It is worth it. Yeah. So what is it that's different about you, or what was it that enabled you to, stay in the heat?
This is where a coach is next level. So most people will back up and go into a shower and think down and out, and I can't do this. So part of being the real life group was I put a post out to my coach. I spoke to Tricia herself, and then basically was changed approach on how I was going at the deal. So rather than just feeling sorry for himself and sulking, was switch it up and go a different way around it, and then go for it that way, and it worked.
Okay, so that's technically what you did, but how do you handle that situation? How do you handle 2 weeks before you have the money and then you don't have the money?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy. But I knew if I was just going to sit there and wallow, then I just wouldn't get it. So first thing I thought was, right, let's try and be proactive about it before getting really annoyed. So I thought, right, post, generate interest is what I did. Then I had a drink that night.
but if it happened again, would it be okay for you?
Yeah, because I know how to do it.
Yeah, so you need to do it. So this is what I'm saying. So what advice, or what I want you to tell the people something, so like they can believe in themselves, so they can realise that look, it's not just about the information, but there is a process of a transformation that's allowing you to be able to handle this stuff. Because obviously you went through the situation. Now if it happens again, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So what tips do you have?
So be prepared that it's not always going to be easy. And when the negative does happen, just take a step back, take yourself out of the equation, then realise what you actually need to do to turn your negative into a positive, to then take it to the next level, which is what I did in this situation. So I lost my initial investor, then realised that I needed to do something different to complete on the deal, and then that's when I started generating investment from putting posts out there and doing something different to what I was done before, because I'd already stopped, I'd already counted all my chickens before they'd hatched. Then that was my lesson. It's not over till it's over, and I then had to change approach.
So do you want to explain the kind of deals that you have? Like what kind of deals you're working on and now in your portfolio?
Yeah, I can do. What, start with the home or what? So,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So since joining real life, I've bought an 8-bedroom farmhouse, which has got 2.2 acres. It was on my achievement board to have a big farmhouse, so I've now got sheep and chickens. That same week was the week that I bought the first investment property with my business partner. It's a now 7-bedroom HMO, which was a money in, money out deal, which basically gave us a flip profit of £18,000 and also cash flows £2,000 a month net.
Wow.
Then this is where relationships are key in everything that you do. So that December, so 4 months later, there was a property that was coming up on the market, which was a repossession, and through relations and stuff like that, I knew about the property going live before it did. So that's where I put the post out for the feelers for the investment. Basically, I offered and exchanged and completed on a 4-bedroom property in 16 days. So I've raised all the finance, done everything in place, and that deal, we went through planning, or we went through change of use, that got rejected, went to committee, and we're converting a 4-bedroom semi-detached house into a 9-bedroom all-ensuite 2-studio apartment. We call it the hotel. It's on the same road as the hospital. It is prime location, and that is awesome. That'll be another money in, money out deal. And since then, I've gone on and bought. I try and do different things each one. So I'm now doing a double dormer. I'm doing a massive extension. So I've got another 6-bed, another 7-bed, and I've now started doing partnership deals in a different area with other people from within the tribe. And it's all hands, like I've systemised and I've got hands off, I've got a project manager in place, and I do a lot more of trusting the system and trusting the process and just letting it all flow.
How do you handle that, like not being so hands-on and letting other people do other things?
I don't, but I've realised that I do actually trust my project manager quite a lot. So it's kind of trusting the process and trusting the systems. Sometimes I try and be involved too much, but at the end of the day, that's my hard work that I've wanted to keep sure that they are working.
What do you think the key is to your scaling your business so quickly?
100% it's got to be down to leveraging and using people around you and their skill sets.
So Sam, tell us about some of like the outcomes that you wanted to do property for. Like, what was it?
So this year has been my 30th birthday, and I said I'm going to experience what I want. So take into account, I've been on a Caribbean cruise for a week. I went to Florida for a week. I've been Portugal golfing for long weekends. I've got a nice Rolex which I bought for my 30th birthday. I wanted to go to the Grand Prix, so I'm actually off to watch the final Grand Prix of the year going to Abu Dhabi. Lewis Hamilton being claimed his 6th world title, so yes, I'm well excited for that. I've been to Silverstone this year. I've done pretty much what I wanted this year and not had to worry about money, which is kind of amazing. So, yeah.
And what's next for you? Like next in the outcomes, what's the goals?
Next in the outcome of my goals is give up work, which will be upon the refinance of any of my next projects. And then after that is continue going on. I want to do something different as in regards to like a major development or something along those lines with regards to property. And yeah, we'll just continue enjoying life.
Awesome. So, like these actions that you've taken over this last year, built a portfolio of over 4 million, cash flow of over 10,000. You've got many units of property, and you're going to continue to go and do more.
Yep.
Well, you have also recently just certified as a real life results coach as well.
Yes, I have.
Yes, I know that's only been recent, so I'm looking forward to seeing what other results that you can help get other people.
They will be successful.
Yeah, good. Of course. I mean, nobody makes it through the graduation without.
Did I hear that your first client got 3 offers accepted in a month?
Yes.
So, I mean, you're smashing it already, right? So well done. Good job. What made you want to be a coach?
I want to give back. That's kind of my big thing. Is so for me, it catapulted me and catapulted me to the next level on just basically personal development and growth and property and stuff like that. And now I want to help others do the exact same thing and get over their own limiting beliefs.
Thank you for joining us. It's been amazing you having here. I can't wait to have you back in a position where you're going to tell us the next few steps of your transformation. So look, if you want more information, you've got to get involved with Real Life Group. We've got some events you can go to, but if you want to just see more stories like this to inspire you that you can do for yourself, subscribe to this channel. There is so much information that you can get on here.